I'm Jessica Minton for IB Times TV, and joining me again is Poshmark CEO and founder Manish Chandra. Now, Manish, it's so great talking to you again. Now, you just recently released your first ever closet sharing economy report. What were your overall findings, and how exactly is this peer-to-peer fashion marketplace evolving?
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Jessica. We just released our closet economy report. And what we see are sort of three or four major trends. First is that fashion in a marketplace like Poshmark moves across all categories. So you have fashion in the luxury segment, things like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, moving very fast. Then you have fashion in the teen segment, things like Brandy Melville, Abercrombie moving really fast. And then sort of more the independent fashion segment, things like Rag & Bone, Vince also move extremely fast. The other thing which is there is that people are buying items at all price points. So you could have a $15 top and a $2,000 handbag both being sold. The third piece is that there are actually weekly and daily cadence to how sales work. So for example, the highest sales time is actually Friday night, which is very surprising because retail is typically high on the weekend, and there's actually a real explanation around mobile for why that's happening. And then the last piece is that women are actually engaging and selling at all price points as well, not just buying, but also selling. So it has a very broad participation in the economy.
Now, how exactly do the recent data breaches from companies like Target, like Neiman Marcus, how exactly do you think that will change the way that consumers shop? Because you've mentioned before how big the rise of mobile and social media is. Do you think that those data breaches will impact that kind of segment?
I think it can go one of two ways. I think one is people get very paranoid and really stop sharing any of their credit card information. The second is they actually feel more secure in sharing the data in sort of a very, very secure system like an online system as opposed to physically handing their card out at a retail store. My sense is that retail is going to somewhat be impacted, but not majorly impacted through this process. But the need and demand and scrutiny for security is going to go up dramatically at retail level. And so, for example, for us, we already did a lot of work on the security side and keeping all the information secured. We've sort of moved it up a couple of notches in response to these data breaches. So I think it will increase the scrutiny from both consumers and consumer watch groups.
In some of our previous interviews, you've really stressed about how there's this omni-channel trend of how retailers are integrating all of their channels with mobile and the web and physical retail as well. So looking back at the fourth quarter and holiday sales, we did see a surge in e-commerce sales. Which retailers do you think have that best sort of omni-channel model right now?
I think one of the companies I've been very impressed with more recently is Macy's in terms of their search and send feature that they've integrated into their app and how aggressively they've moved on the mobile front. The other company that is actually doing really well on this platform is Target, and they're doing some creative things both in the mobile and in the physical storefront and integrating and also integrating with social media. And then the third retailer that always continues to sort of integrate local and online and mobile together is Nordstrom. And I think we talked a little bit about HotLook and Nordstrom Rack integration last time and how HotLook purchases can be returned at Nordstrom Rack. And what they're doing now is integrating with tools like Pinterest to create this whole diversity discovery engine, which is, I think, fairly unique. So you see a big movement of retailers towards social, mobile, and sort of integrating this offline-online experience.
The fourth quarter is such a big quarter when you do look at retail and consumer spending because of the holidays. When retailers start reporting in a few weeks their earnings results for that period, what kind of figures do you think we'll hear from them? Do you think that we'll hear better than expected results?
I think we saw a little bit of softness in Q4, especially around Black Friday. I think what you're going to see is real emergence of winners and losers. So you're going to start to see certain sectors being impacted. We've seen reports of the teen sector really moving away from brick and mortar and physical store and starting to see a seismic shift towards online there. Other sectors, which are more immersive sectors, at the luxury category as well as sort of higher-end category, I think that will continue to rise. But I think the more sort of mass fashion retailing is going to see a surge, both in Q4 and just overall. And these are the retailers who are integrating offline and online really, really well.
And finally, what sort of plans does Poshmark have right now in the future to continue to try to integrate technology with fashion to an even more mainstream market?
Well, some of the big things we've done over the last couple of months is, first of all, broaden our platform. So today we are available on web and Android. We talked about that. Second thing is we are adding some very simple, straightforward search and discovery tools, which go transcend beyond social. So a girl can come in and very quickly shop, and then a woman can quickly get things fulfilled. And then the last piece is we are also working on a very significant shipping innovation that I think it's sort of something we'll be able to talk about in a few months. And that really changes how fashion is shipped across the country. So really any woman can participate in this closet economy. So the goal this year is definitely to take it even more mainstream than what we saw last year and take it so that every state, every woman can get participating in this economy.